hey, before we start, let's get the big trash bag out, right? And then you kind of get the groans and moans from the rest of the family. Like, why can't we just start now, Dad? Why do you have to always do that? And there's probably a lot of dads out there that can relate to what I'm sharing in terms of being that. So yeah, that, and then the dog likes to tear open, things and kind of get in the way as well. So it makes for a lot of fun, right? It really does. Doing my 111, that's right. That's what I'm responsible for.
All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus channel. Dan Fates, I am Jenna Cottrell, Mike Catalana back in Rochester. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We are here in the Bills facility,
in the building,
Buffalo, with a walkthrough today. But let's get into the most important storyline in all of Western New York right now, and it has to do with a foot.
Yes, Josh Allen's foot is the most important foot in all of Western New York. He did not practice today. Again, it was just a walkthrough, and I think the team is just kind of being smart. Sean said on Monday that he was planning on Josh playing. He was asked about that today with him not practicing at the walkthrough. He said, no, as of right now, we'll see how it goes tomorrow. We did get to talk to Josh after practice, Jenna. Seemed like everything was fine.
I agree. He did talk about it being sore, which makes sense. We're only a couple days removed from that game against the Browns, but it seemed like he said, I'm planning on playing.
Yeah, he says he feels good.
Feels good.
What did he say? All gravy, baby?
Oh, he said that after to
Evan Washburn?
Yeah.
The hair.
But I do think that's encouraging. Now, I think planning on playing, to me, says he is planning on playing. We'll have to see if things change in a way that's unexpected. But I think that's about all we're going to get out of Josh Allen before this weekend.
Still had a slight little limp.
Yeah.
It wasn't his normal gait, if we can observe that. But again, you go off what Josh says. You go off what Sean said after the game on Sunday, where he's like, Josh doesn't really share much. He's so tough, and Evan Washburn saying that he likes pain. Well, at this point,
that pain quote was crazy.
Yeah, I think part of this now is just being smart. Yeah. Because the other story, obviously, is that the Bills clinched a playoff spot for the 7th straight season with the Colts loss on Monday night. So the Bills are in the postseason. That's good. And Sean was even asked about, there are a lot of guys that did not practice today or that are day-to-day. You talk about Jordan Poyer, Jordan Phillips, Matt Prater, Dalton Kincaid. Those guys did not practice. Daquan Jones, another one. And he was asked about, hey, now that you've clinched a playoff spot, how does that affect how you handle these last few games, and how do you handle this Sunday? I thought it was a really good question. And Sean's like, well, we're going to kind of see. I think it is so early in the week. Because the Bills moved their schedule around, us being up here on a Tuesday compared to a Wednesday, they're giving them off for Christmas. So they kind of moved Thursday's practice to Tuesday in that sort. So I think they still are gunning. There's still a chance for the number 1 seed. I don't see them resting any. Or the division and the number 1 seed. They still are. Yeah. They're possible.
Yes, I guess that is true. Yeah, I think we're still very early on. And I know that might sound silly because you're normally up in Buffalo on a Wednesday and you're up on a Thursday. But the NFL is such a week-to-week league that every day really does matter that much in terms of what the team is thinking, where they're at, with injuries, with rest, things like that. So I'm curious to see how it will play out because – are you resting? I mean, the most important thing is that Josh Allen is feeling good into it. But also, now that you've made the postseason, you look at the matchups that could be out there, and it's like, okay, do you want to go to Jacksonville? Do you want to? What about Houston? What about Pittsburgh? So it's not as much of a cut and dry thing of definitely rest or definitely not.
And it's also, you don't know what you're rooting for. We've kind of talked about that this week. We talked about the live show at Riverworks last week. You may be rooting for the Chargers to win this week, but then maybe that win actually hurts you at the end of Week 18. So you're trying to balance it all out.
There's so much parity right now in the league, in both the AFC and the NFC. It's made it really fascinating to watch. But let's just talk about what is ahead in terms of this Eagles team. I think Sean McDermott, obviously very complimentary of them. 10-4 on the season. They've won the last 2 in a row. He talked about how the numbers, Dan, don't always tell the whole story.
I loved it. Because
tell your line.
Stats are like bikinis. They show you some things, but not everything.
It's unfortunately a really good line.
It's a really good analogy. Because obviously the Eagles last year were the best rushing offense in all of football. This year, they're like 11th or 12th. The Bills are actually the best rushing attack in football this season. And he was kind of asked, like, hey, it's a lot of the same guys. The offensive line has been injured at times, but Sean's like, yeah, they still got Saquon. They still got a Hall of Fame running back who's gotten it going the last 2 weeks, granted against the Raiders and Commanders, but still, that's a scary thought of coming down for a team that has struggled against the run and has been trying to figure out the combinations. They're trying to figure out the wide receivers and who's supposed to be active on game days. They're also trying to figure out that defensive line to find some sort of success.
Yeah, no, it's very true. And they obviously have a lot of talent on that Eagles team. Many Pro Bowlers as well. You look at the defense, Cooper
Defense is
DeJean.
Yep. Defense is legit.
Yeah, they are really, really, really good. And so I think this will be like quite a test for this Bills offense as well. I do want to mention for the Bills in terms of the Pro Bowl, Josh Allen, Deion Dawkins, as well as James Cook once again have been named in some capacity, whether first team, second team, third team.
So I was supposed to remind you about something. Do you know what I'm going to remind you about? Because I will set you up.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you wanted to say this today,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I did.
Okay.
I wanted to
so
get this on recording.
You wanted to get this
I was
on
going to say
record.
on tape, but that's
Yes.
a crazy thing to say in
So
2025.
after the game, after Sunday's game, I had made the poor analogy of this offense and Joe Brady are trying to cook like gluten-free pasta and gluten-free pizza. Like they're trying to make good food out of a massive ingredient that you don't have, meaning they don't have a wide receivers.
Yeah.
Like they don't have NFL caliber elite wide receivers. So Jenna, the floor is yours.
Okay.
You're going to make a better analogy and dunk on mine.
Thank you. Wow, that's so nice of you. Okay, I'm going to try to make this as succinct as possible, but I think of this Bills offense, Josh Allen, as a Lamborghini. We've used that analogy before of him being a Lamborghini that he has everything you would possibly ever want and that much more. He's your pie in the sky type of guy. You have the offensive line that has been the tires. You have the gas, which has been the tight ends as well as the running backs this season. But when it comes to the oil, your oil is low. The wide receiver core has not done enough for this team, especially outside. We've known that this whole season. And it's one of those things that when you drive your car with low oil, eventually it destroys everything. And that's the one thing that scares me about this Bills offense is could it be derailed by their lack of talent and lack of production on those for those boundary guys?
So proud. Just so proud.
I didn't fully land the last
you
little
stuck
bit.
it. You stuck it. It was a great analogy.
Okay.
Let us know what you think about Jenna's analogy as you like, comment,
I'm
and
sure
subscribe.
people-
I think it's a great analogy. I think you think about the car, the offense, how it's been
Joe
going.
Brady has the keys. Like,
Yes.
again, the offensive line. You got great tires.
Yes.
You have the gas. Like, you've been able to,
Because
but
that's
it's
what
just
I said
that
with
low
Dorsey,
oil.
was that you didn't want to give the keys to a Lamborghini to a guy with a learner's permit because
Yeah.
he had never called plays before.
Yeah.
So I love that car analogy. On the other side, let's talk about some things as the holidays are approaching. Merry Christmas, Happy
Yes.
holidays to
Yes.
everybody, Happy New Year.
Wow, we should have started with that.
Yeah, it's fine. We got to it. The foot was more important than the holidays. Some people would put their foot,
Oh, there's a lot of people.
that would put their foot on the line and would give it to Josh as a Christmas present. I thought Sean was great today.
I thought so too.
Matt Perino of Syracuse.com, phenomenal job asking the question of pretty much what is your morning routine for Christmas? And here is what Sean had to say.
Hey, before we start, let's get the big trash bag out, right? And then you kind of get the groans and moans from the rest of the family. Like, why can't we just start now, Dad? Why do you have to always do that? And there's probably a lot of dads out there that can relate to what I'm sharing in terms of being that. So yeah, that, and then the dog likes to tear open, things and kind of get in the way as well. So it makes for a lot of fun, right? It really does. Doing my 111, that's right. That's what I'm responsible for.
It's funny.
It's great.
You're a dad. Relatable?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I am get the garbage bag. I am, again, I don't even think, and like this isn't like some flex, I didn't ask for anything for Christmas. Like I don't expect to open anything for Christmas. I just want the kids to. I will
Yes,
collect.
that's fair.
I will collect the garbage that goes around, and the kids will rip it apart. I expect the 1-year-old to be eating some wrapping paper. Like I just am
My
very
girl, Taylor.
Yeah, and so it's just funny where again you forget that these NFL players and your favorite players and pro athletes, they're just people. And they open Christmas presents just like your family does around the tree.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, who's
And
got
their kids
who's
roll
got the
their
garbage
eyes,
bag? Yep.
roll their eyes at them and say, why can't we open the presents yet? Stuff like that.
And Sean's just doing his.
111th. I do think, And I thought this was a nice perspective to have, as Sean was saying when we were talking to him before the walkthrough, was essentially, yeah, we have a walkthrough today, we're going to have practice tomorrow, but we're doing that because, we need to stay on schedule, we need to be focused, but we also need to zoom out and understand the perspective, the reason for the season, and have that in mind and be respectful of families too. And I thought that was really nice.
We asked Trey about that, about you're an NFL player, and like Sean even was like, for you guys, like us in the media, we don't have 2 weeks off like my wife does as a teacher. So like we are working through these holidays and things like that.
Yeah, don't feel bad for us, but
no,
yes.
Not at all. But it's just that's our norm. And Trey was asked about, hey, you don't ever really have a Christmas. You're a professional football player. Like you're playing, practicing, things like that. Trey said he's never had a conventional Christmas, he thinks, since 2013.
Wow.
But he goes, Sean has been moving this way year after year, that he's been lessening up around the holidays because he knows how important it is.
Yeah.
And that little by little. And like when we talked to Shaq Thompson a few weeks ago, he talked too about how Sean has changed from even as a defensive coordinator to now seeing him as a head coach. Like even the practices being later in the day. Like Sean is adjusted. I'm sure he asked the guys, hey, can we practice? Can we do our walkthrough Tuesday? His leadership council, the veterans on this team, how can we move this around so that we can all enjoy this?
Get what we want.
Yeah, because Sean was even saying, like, he's like, yeah, like this is a time for family. He's like, yeah, well, you kind of sacrifice that to be an NFL head coach.
Yes.
Oh darn.
But yes. But usually Tuesdays are their off day. So again, that's why the schedule's moved up. Thursday they will be off. So the families and the staff and the players, the coaches, everything can be with their families or the people that they love like family.
Yeah. I just thought it was cool. It was another testament to where Sean is
He's evolved,
Well, he's evolved, and he's really more of a player's coach than I think people give him credit for.
Than he gets credit for. Okay, so we touched on Josh Allen's foot, the playoffs. Let's talk
opening presents. We talked about that.
Ernie.
Yeah, it's just a little thing. Like I said, if you're a baseball fan in the Western New York area or just a baseball fan in general, Ernie Clement had set the record for the MLB for most hits in a postseason. Unbelievable story. He's a kid from Rochester, went to Brighton.
Sorry.
Little things like that. He was on the Cleveland Guardians, got cut, went to the Oakland Athletics. They cut him. He worked from the Buffalo Bisons, the AAA team, all the way up. He's a diehard Bills fan. We've talked to him before on this channel.
Yeah.
He's a friend of ours. He got to come to practice on last Friday. Probably saw it on social media, the amount of daps that he had with Josh Allen. Just so many daps. Cool things like that. They did a jersey swap, but he got to watch practice, and apparently we had heard that Sean was just blown away by him. The character that is Ernie Clement. So I asked Sean today after the press conference, I grabbed him for 2 minutes to ask him about Ernie Clement. It's just really cool to hear him talk about the journey. People think that you're a pro athlete, so your journey is all success. And here's a guy that has had ups and downs, and then in the biggest moments, he's succeeding in the World Series, setting the postseason record, all that stuff is cool. And apparently he's Sean's son's favorite player.
Yeah. Well, let's put what Sean had to say here.
Very impressed. He came in very poised.
Ernie, are you starstruck?
How could you not be with this guy?
Stop
He's
it.
unbelievable.
Stop it.
Was really open to share his experiences, and he's a guy that I've done some research on. I think it's a great example of the journey that a lot of us go through, the highs and lows of a career, and how you got to persevere and continue to work.
Be the man.
Appreciate it.
It's awesome.
Have a good one. God bless you.
Good luck the rest
Thank
of the
you.
way, bro. Get it done. Get it done. It's a lot of pressure.
He's my son's favorite player, so he was in awe when I told him when I went home who was at practice. And again, it's pretty special where a local product who's worked his tail off, been on a journey, gets to play for a team nearby here and have the experience that he did in those wild type of moments.
I think that's really cool.
Again, he's just, at that point, he's just a baseball fan.
Yeah.
He's just a fan of talent and stories. And Ernie's got a great story.
He does. And Ernie, an easy guy to root for.
Yeah.
So cool seeing him meet
I texted
Josh.
Ernie today, and I was like,
Oh,
I gotta
you
show
did?
you something. I was like, I talked to Sean McDermott today, and he's like, what a guy. And then I talked to him about you, and he's like, why would you ask him about me? I was like, well, he's
Ernie,
a big
you're
fan
a big
of yours.
deal.
Yeah, he's a big fan of yours. So really cool, especially the Rochester community loves him. Western New York.
Yeah.
Again, his walk-up song is the shout song. Like that is how much he bleeds Bill's Mafia and things like that. So it's just cool moment for Ernie. He got to tour the new stadium. All of that's on the Bills' social media.
Yeah, go check it out. It is really good. And you're right. There's the crispy daps between him and Josh Allen.
So many daps.
So many daps. We'd love to see it, though. Okay.
Yeah.
From Dan and myself, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. That would be the best Christmas gift you could get us.
Or you could give the gift of a Buffalo Plus subscription to somebody that you know. You'll be around family.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're around
Just-
family this week.
Just
and
tell them to subscribe.
get
Show
on their
them
phone.
how.
Yes, get on their phone
Had to do that for my mother.
and subscribe.
Subscribe. You get a subscription, and you get a
Yes.
subscription. And if you're a little last minute with your gifts, they won't come before the holiday, but check
Correct.
out the Buffalo Plus store, buffaloplusstore.com, to get your merch fix. Oh, those are cool. Little electronic bikes. Huh. Is that Alec Anderson?
Yeah.
Okay. He's just rolling around. They see me rolling.
Are we going to assume that's the gift from Josh?
I thought he got the Wagyu steaks.
Oh, I'm not sure.
He got a quarter of Wagyu steaks.
Oh.
That's pretty nice. Okay. That'll do it for us. Make sure we hope everyone has a happy, safe, lovely holiday season. We love you guys so much. All right, for Dan and Mike, who's not here, I'm Jenna. We'll catch you next time here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Thank you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.